out and even position themselves on the 7th or 8th spot. So both of these two teams did kind of a really godly run here in this next 5 maps here. They have the opportunity, they have a lot of points and a lot of chances to get those points, but every single map needs to sit and needs to be nearly played perfectly. One map dropping down to the 4th place, making it, or 2 maps dropping down to the 4th place, you're out of the run and you're gonna be placed in the bottom 4. So one thing that screams to me is pressure so much.
Oh, it is a pressure cooker right now for these teams, especially when you're going up against one of the best EU teams in the scene in Pulsar eSports, constantly on top, in the top 2, both in the EU regional playoffs and the just overall scoring for the championships, just for the EU side of things. But yeah, one of our top EU teams here on the side of Pulsar. They've been struggling a little bit, haven't been doing as well as we normally want them to do, but this is their chance to prove that they are that good as a Makeshift. Taking on Vatican eSports right now, again, these are the 2 teams that need to perform, and they need to do it right now, using that ARN at long range as Velo, pushing very aggressively. A very early dome there, though, from the side of Arleezy. Not sure about that one. It's going to be a lot of lost utility very early. Sugi continues to dash around. There's the jump pad, aggressive from the rest of his team. Doesn't quite follow them, playing very patient. Got some heals for his team if they need. Just a lot of poking right now. Something has to give eventually. Had an APS on the ground. He's going to melt that. They just tossed the vault over, said, get out of here. We're going to yoink this away. Go for the plug. The rest of Makeshift desperately trying to get away as Vatican eSports are on the hunt. They want to stop him. The medium and the light on their way as Arleezy lags a little bit behind. And Makeshift very split, but they're going to be able to get this plug.
They got themselves the plug and a little bit of plug money, but from the looks of it, it's going to be a little bit of a tougher deal to actually defend this one, as the teammates are still a little bit far behind, still needing to catch up. The steal might be there, and if Vatican eSports can hold on to this is very important for them, and they might be able to. The 2 teams that desperately need points here, fighting against each other, will be quite tough, because one team will lose out, the other team will move forward with some cheeky little points. As the fight is being engaged, shotguns being hitting every single shot. Look at this, it's just so much chaos. They're trying to stay next to each other, they're trying to play this together, but close range with a shotgun moving forward is going to be always a little bit of a rougher call. Start of this game, very rough right now for Vatican and for Makeshift.
A little bit of miscommunication there. Oh, he goes down a little evolution. He was trying to survive. He went for a defib on his teammate, but his teammate coined as he was fibbing. And then he went for the heavy afterward, just a little bit delayed. Now Makeshift back up to the 3 team members. They have a chance for this to get it back. Dueling with Double O in the corners, alone in Paris. Cannot get past that pillar, though. He's just sitting in cover, exactly what he needs to do. And Vatican eSports, with that, is going to be over for them. They're going to be able to get B, and Makeshift could not pull out the retake.
Well, if that, Vatican eSports get themselves a little bit more of a secure spot onto the cash out, but it was quite of a ugly fight, if we're being honest. It was a lot of chaos, a lot of miscommunication when it came on the teams. We saw how they were playing, and when it comes to this team fight, they don't have too much time in from the side of Saint One. They need to make sure this is a clean one if they want to get the steal and a little bit of points. But obviously, Pulsar eSports are not gonna make it as easy for them, as the fights are being initiated on both these 2 sides. We may be losing a few players from the side of Pulsar, and so far, Saint One has also lost one of their members, but a lot of damage has been more taken from the side of Pulsar eSports, as now that they're also being wiped out and gone, while Vatican and Makeshift, they're fighting yet again for the point. But look at it, they have been wiped twice in a row now. Vatican getting a lot of points, a very great start for them.
They need these points. They need to get there. And Arleezy running the KS23. That is exciting. Not something we see very often. We've seen that pulled out a couple times now. As they want to keep their aggression. They want to keep this momentum that they have going. Remember, they have to do an exceptional job today. So keep your eye on Vatican eSports. If they can pull this off, it is going to be an incredible comeback for them to get in that upper bracket and make sure that they save themselves. They're getting pushed right now by Makeshift. Once again, these 2 teams just constantly running at each other. The gateway is there. They're going to get out of the way. Makeshift wanted to get between them and the cash out, but could not successfully do so. And now the plug is in there. They won't have the gateway and lots of time to set up. They're pushing into a pike as well on these points that is so difficult to get through.
But look who's on them yet again. Makeshift, they really want to get that point. They want to make sure and establish a little bit of dominance, potentially also against Vatican. They're in the rotation to play against them. They're not looking forward to break that rotation. So they want to keep fighting against this team. The team fight's now being initiated. Beautiful hook there, taking out the first person from Vatican eSports, giving Makeshift a great opportunity, great advantage here. But they got to make sure that they don't fall off one by one, finding themselves a little bit of a trade here, pulling themselves back up on a 2v2. Vatican is slowly falling apart, taking a lot of damage and not quite being able to hit those shots when they're needed. Vatican, you gotta play sure, you gotta play a little bit more safe here. Makeshift, yet still with the 2v2, still standing, they're still fighting. Somehow, none of these players are falling apart now. Makeshift gotten themselves one more kill, but look who's there. The third party incoming, Pulsar, is here ready to take them on.
Pulsar choosing the right time to show up. Makeshift still have 3 members, but one of them is very, very low. Velo basically not in the fight at this point. He has to wait a few seconds. It has been dropped. They do not want to commit if they're not going to be in a commanding position to actually get anything out of it. Everybody on the map alive. There's been coins back in, but the fight on the stairways, the heals barely keeping them alive. Vatican eSports escape with their hopes and dreams intact. They still have a little bit longer before they can do this, but Person looking to winch this out. They might go for a steal just to see if they can yoink this away. They're in a great spot, but Alone in Paris above is just going to pull him apart. The winch is down. He's going to go down in trade, getting chased after by Perzon, but this could open up the door for Makeshift to pull this out with the Chaos on the side, but no, that's going down. Vatican eSports missing too. It's Double O, the only one left here as Makeshift. Do they realize that this is going on? Do they have the wherewithal to jump in and go for the steal right now? Pulsar returning their attention to the point, but the steal is there from Velo. He's back. He's looking for it. The winch away. It does get taken back. Vatican eSports holding on to this with the assist from Pulsar. They do wipe, which means that they're not going to get anything out of this, maybe just a couple kills, and now D being held by Saints1 basically for free.
Maybe for free, they've still been waiting. No opponent has been coming to them, but now they're gonna have the whole lobby running after them, trying to get themselves onto that point. But they've already set it up, had enough time to get a few strategies in, as they are not needing to just hold this point down for a few more seconds. Vatican in a very good position so far, getting themselves to second point. Makeshift struggling on the last place on this leaderboard. They need a few points. They need to make sure either they double or get this steal. As the steal is gone, they need to double it. If they want to be the first and make that godly run possible, this is now the chance too. But if they fail here, that would mean the godly run has already been closed out.
It would be a huge shame for that to just end before it even starts. But Vatican, while Makeshift may not be looking so good, Vatican are crushing it right now in first place. They do have to respawn, as Pulsar has control of 5, but 6 is still left for the taking. Nobody even tapping yet. Pulsar desperately running for this plug. Everybody following along. Makeshift realize that they need to go for 6 because they have to get this double, as you said. Meanwhile, Pulsar fending off Emilian 1 versus 2, but the health pool encompasses both of theirs if he can just find them on the side. But with the blueberry, Atelko getting a little health back, as well as Person sitting in the stairs. Emilian is now not in the advantageous position he used to be. Needs to wait for his team to come back. Still has to wait 15 seconds for them to get up. So Pulsar have a little bit of breathing room. But the fight over on 6 right now. The gateway actually brings it across. Makeshift breaking the ankles of Vatican eSports. They're going to be able to jump in. They go for the double. Here it is. The double is in place. Now they just have to go for the actual steal. This is great for Pulsar. They went from a third to now they are going to get first with the amount of chaos that this is about to bring in. Who's going to be running away with this?
So far, nearly every team has gotten themselves on a cheeky little floor. A little bit of engagement is happening on all the way to the top. Makeshift against Saint1. Need to establish a little bit of control and dominance here, because if Makeshift want to make that godly run happen, they need to steal it now. It's only soon 20 seconds left on the board, so they don't have too much time anymore. Again, the steal is soon need to be taken place. But there's just so many eyes watching that cash out. Is going to be nearly impossible for that one to happen, as this is going to run into the overtime. Vatican eSports is looking forward to steal.
They get that!
Being on the first place, they get the steal, but they get also eliminated. They got the gateway, my apologies, they got the gateway all up the way to the roof. Got themselves out of the position. The Saint1 is still there. Makeshift still somewhere in the building, staying alive. One player.
Oh, Saints1, no.
They're still at the bottom of the leaderboard. They still have a little bit of time, but they need to regroup now, or this is over.
Vatican eSports, their hope and prayers are all riding on this cash out route now. They need this first place. Arleezy goes down, but Double O is still alive. He's getting healed. He actually gets taken out. Double O with a double kill, looking to hold this. Makeshift is there. They drop the dome. They drop the goo, but they're getting melted. Someone from the side taking them both out. Evolution as well, getting his team back in there. Arleezy gets revived, and Vatican holding on to this cash out, successfully stealing it from under the noses of Pulsar. And that brings them a first place up against two powerhouses, which is an amazing start for them. Is the miracle run for Vatican eSports alive?
Not only is it alive, but holy, it is possible. This just shown how much possibility there is in this game. The last few seconds, Vatican eSports, even though they were in the first place, they got the steal with that, securing the maximum of points when it came to the positions, 100 points. And here again, they need a few kills in just a few first places to push out gamblers from their 8th position all the way to the bottom spots. So Vatican eSports are very much possible here to get themselves in that A spot. And there's one thing that I saw really outstanding here when it came to this round. When it came to their team fights, even when they were in a 2v2 situation or a 2v1 situation, they always tried to stay as close as possible. And when they had the cash out on the second cash out rotations, we saw the light from the Vatican eSports team just hiding in a corner and waiting for the steal, letting the other two teams fight, and said, that's none of my business. I'm not going to get into there, get those kills. I'm going to wait. As soon as somebody touches my box, I'm going to be going in there. And that's exactly what he did. So they made it very clear. They need first place, and the players know that.
Yeah, they put their stamp on the game. They said, here's what we're come to do. You have to respect this. And I was definitely surprised to see Pulsar in the low position they were. However, I think a lot of that does come down to the double, as it was. They had a chance for a second, but they probably should have realized that the double was what the other teams needed, especially knowing where their position is on the board. And yeah, Vatican eSports just playing really, really smart. I love the play specifically with the gateway that they use as a getaway as soon as they go for the steal. You see that we've seen this a lot, especially lately, as teams kind of are developing their strategy, especially in these chaotic moments. You'll never see this in 3v3 because you're rare to go for a steal without wiping the other team first. But these teams will jump on, go for the steal, and the second they get the steal, that gateway is down, they are gone, and then you have to go through a gateway to chase them. They lost one on the way out, but even just getting two of them out was enough for them to hold on to it. Double O absolutely popping off in that hold. It's neat to see these strategies develop over the course of these seasons.
A lot of gears, and especially when it comes to that last cash out box, because they know if they wipe out now without trying it, then what's really the point? I mean, yes, you can maybe play politics, maybe get a team out, maybe try to put a little bit of a weaker team against your opponents, right? So there's like still a little bit of politics going on, especially when you come in here. But